a couple of Vikings and some Marines as he was forced to completely rebuild his economy, and he has been working on this expansion of his own. So it looks like we're going to be looking to take out Orange's fresh new expansion here. Are we all going to be moving in there? It looks like Mice is going to be moving his stalkers in there, and that's going to be more than enough to deal with that base. So my unit's actually standing pat here out in the front, perhaps going to wait for some reinforcements there and try and catch them off guard. No, it looks like I'm going to try and press the other expansion. And what are these guys doing there? Running back and forth here, choosing not to engage as Orange is stuck back here on the high ground trying to defend up there, and he's forced to lift off and drop back off to try and combine forces. Meanwhile, my unit's just moving right in here and melting away a bunch of probes, and this Nexus is even going to go down before they do anything about it. But here comes the battle as the mothership and all of these units, a ton of stalkers are down there right now, but I do have 4 Colossi on the field trying to keep those units in the back to do as much damage as possible. Meanwhile, on the bottom, Mice does have a ton of stalkers down here starting to burn through AkrobatiK's units, but look at the mothership using the vortex to throw all my units into the vortex. And this is going to be bad as soon as my units come out. Oh man, they're just going to start getting melted here. These Colossi trying to scoot back and get off of each other to avoid so much of that splash damage. When the Colossi are right grouped up like that, the opponent's Colossi will splash all over them. And there goes that army. So we did have an advantage, I think, there for a bit, but we just lost all of our armies. So now what? It looks like they ran right by my expansion, and now finally this Colossi is going to see this expansion. Are they going to pull back to deal with it? No, they're going to try and press the main right now, knowing that we are on the ropes, having lost. I just lost my entire army. All I have is a couple of Phoenix and some Stalkers desperately trying to warp in more Stalkers to defend, and here comes Mice with some Stalkers of his own. It looks like we will be able to force that back. Mice, even with some blink on his Stalkers, choosing to blink up into that. There are Dark Templars in here that are doing a lot of damage going unchecked right now. We need a scan or an observer, and I don't think we have either. These Dark Templars in this army are just slicing up all of our units, and oh man, that is so painful to watch, just knowing all we need is some kind of observer. No observer. There's even a Colossus back here shooting away at my refinery. We're in a lot of trouble. Fike, though, he does have some Vikings on the field, so I need him to bring these Vikings over and shoot down this Colossi for me. Meanwhile, desperately need an observer. Fike finally with the scan going down to try and take out. Looks like that's an Orange's tank. Orange has a tank up here in my mineral line, shooting away at my probes. Finally, that is going to go down, and they are just being relentless right now. Centurion continuing to send units. He even has his Raven over here, and he's even got some units over at this watchtower. A little bit too many there, but continuing to expand, rebuilding those bases. Centurion opting wisely to get a planetary fortress this time on his expansion. And now it looks like realizing that purple has this base way up here in the top. We need to do something about this, as we are going to push out. It looks like I'm transferring a ton of probes over here to this fresh new base. And Mice going to be pressing here. There are Dark Templars hiding in the grass that need to be engaging right now, because Mice actually going to opt to pull back now, doubling back again, faking me out there. And oh, these Stalkers trying to run in close to the siege tanks, but unaware of the Dark Templars, making them pay. And looks like we were going to go for that expansion up here, but forced to pull all the way back because of the impending danger at the front of our main. And with the Vikings, the Phoenix and Vikings, Phoenix lifting up some of these Stalkers, and the Viking support in the back shooting them down. Need to press up with this Colossi. There are 3 Colossi in AkrobatiK that are quite exposed to these Vikings, though. Now with the Stalkers doubling back wisely to ward back the Vikings. Fike continuing to make more Vikings, as those are much needed right now against these Colossi. It looks like we are going to decide, or at least I am going to decide, to go ahead and take out this undefended expansion that is generating so many minerals for AkrobatiK. He has been expanding this entire time. He's rebuilt this expansion, and so we need to do something about that. Going to be focusing down these rocks here to try and get back there. Meanwhile, Centurion has units all over the place here. That's got to be hard to keep track of. Kuthroat even throwing in pylons inside the grass. So interesting there, because I don't think unless you have a unit unless you have a unit on the other side of the grass that you will be able to warp in units out there. Anyway, Fike will be landing his Vikings to start tearing up this base, and I do have a couple of Colossi, a few Stalkers, and a few Phoenix in here. So pretty well a nice mix of different units between Fike and I here in this army. Here comes the engagement. AkrobatiK, he is pissed about losing that expansion, and this charge lots are running in there to absorb the hits. Meanwhile, the Vikings and Phoenix coming in, trying to take out those Colossi. Phoenix need to be lifting off some units to be most effective. There goes the Colossi go down, and with 2 Colossi in the back from my army, just melting away. These Zealots in the front from Kuthroat are charging in though. A lot of damage being done, a pretty even exchange in units, but continuing to press here somehow. These Colossi in the back, for me, are just champs right now. This Colossi is a master. He has 19 kills right now. Make it 20. There is the Executor Colossi coming up huge down there. And AkrobatiK is going to leave the game. Kuthroat leaves the game. Maybe was that a little bit premature of a leaving of the game? I don't know, but with that one battle right here in this choke point, those Colossi were safe in the back, just firing away. And so, yeah, thank you guys for watching this game. I know it wasn't the super craziness that you may be used to, because this was one of my games, but it was definitely a pleasure to play, and it was very fun to cast. I realize why I saved that game now, because I don't know how my team survived at the beginning. We were getting attacked on 3 sides. The Void Ray is still just sitting back here for AkrobatiK. I wonder if he just forgot about those. I forgot about them. They are still back here, so that sucks for him. But either way, that is going to be it for me. Thank you for watching. This is Irie StarCraft. If you like my vids, give them a thumbs up, and if you like my channel, subscribe to me. So that's it for me, and peace out.